to Yahweh Bashem Shai Bashem Kodash. Shalom to the 144,000 out there and the rest of the elect. Shalom to you all. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video. I just woke up not too long ago and I saw this open up my the Thorum, the computer system, PCs, laptop, whatever, tablets, whatever you want to call it. Smartphones is nothing but old technology that the Levites, the Most High Yahweh Bashem Shai gave to the tribe of Levi, the priestly tribe. They had the first tablet / laptop / PC / a smartphone. But anyway, so I'm on the Urim and Thummim. So I'm gonna start calling it more so the Urim and Thummim, because that's what this is. This was the Urim and Thummim before it was a PC. I'm gonna entitle this video "The Most High is not the author of confusion." When I say the Most High, I'm talking about Yahweh. Who the Most High has a name. He gave the sons of Israel his name, which is Yahweh. If you claim to be a prophet and you don't know the name, or you say we don't know the name, with the name the Most High got to give us a new name, they're false prophets. Are you talking about IUI? Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. They're false prophets. That's why they got their asses beat over there in Kenya, because they're false prophets. They went over there in the name of Black Jesus. Excuse me. But the title is the Most High is not the author of confusion. If you're not a part of the elect, you will not get this. Period. End of sentence. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. So this is from 1 Corinthians 14, verse 33. It says, now right there is the word God. I'm going to click on this word. For the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. Oh, wait a minute. The more proof that the people of Corinth that Paul was writing letters to and actually speaking to were Israelites, because they were also known as saints. We went through that yesterday on the streets concerning 1 Corinthians chapter 10, where Paul said our fathers, and he referred back to being in the wilderness, which proves that the people that the Apostle Paul was talking to, the people of Corinth, were Israelites living in a place called Corinth, which is in Asia Minor. So you can understand, it's in Greece. It's north of Palestine. Okay, so there was an argument up, and I'll get back into the thing. I'm a little all over the place, but that's all right too. There's lessons within lessons. There was a back and forth with Corey Minor of the Smart Christian. I call him the Not So Smart Christian. And he was going back and forth with the Captain Gadaliah. And what came up in that video, I didn't watch the whole video. What came up was 1 Corinthians chapter 10. So the Captain Gadaliah broke it down right, saying, meaning Paul was a Benjamite. We all know, every Christian will tell you, if you ask what nationality was Paul, a lot of them will say Roman. No, he was not a Roman. He was a Roman citizen. He was not a Roman Edomite, which the Romans are Edomites. Even small hat scholars will tell you that the Romans are white European Romans descended from Esau. Esau is still here among us. The Northern Kingdom is still here among us. They went to the other side of the world. There's a whole lot of information, right? So I can make topics of all these statements that I made. These are all topics right here. So choose one. So anyway, he says in 1 Corinthians, give me a second. Give me a second here. Bear with me for a minute. Okay. He so he goes into the hour. It's talking about it's not just talking about the Israelites, or it's talking about the mixed multitude. No, the mixed multitude didn't attend any of the gatherings of Paul in Corinth. The people of Corinth were Israelites. The people that Paul spoke to and wrote epistles, which are letters. It's a fair biblical way of saying a letter. Epistle is a letter, because they didn't have TV back there, they didn't have YouTube. What we do now is video epistles. So these are letters, all right? Video epistles. When he spoke to the people of Ephesus, those were the Israelites living in Ephesus. Some of them knew that they were Israelites, others didn't know and was coming back into the fold, like Cornelius. Colossus, or the Colossians, those were Israelites living in Colossus. So, the place that Paul went to and spoke to, Galatians, right? Those were Israelites. Anyway, it says, for the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all the churches. Saints. The saints are Israelites. It tells you that in the Psalms. Psalms 50, also Psalms 147. It tells you that the Israelites are the saints, or the saints are Israelites. It just means the holies. So let me look up this word God, G-O-D, capital G, lowercase O-D. God. The word there in the Greek is theos. Where you get the word theater. Theos. Let's see how it sounds.
Strong's G 2316. Theos. Theos.
Theos, theos. God, goddess. Doesn't go back to the Hebrew. Right. Emmanuel, which being interpreted is God with us. And what does God really mean? Theos. Theos means power. Supreme. And this is one of the titles that was given to our Lord, but that wasn't his name. Emmanuel, stop listening to those knuckleheads at the IUIC talking about, oh, Jesus had many names. We can call him anything we want to call him. Please go to the book of Isaiah chapter 9 and 6. It says all the names he had. Okay, give me one scripture in the New Testament. In the New Testament, all right? Old Testament, New Testament. I don't care what testament, but mainly the New Testament. I'm pretty sure you can give me one scripture where the Apostle Paul referred to our Lord as Emmanuel, as Counselor, as Heavenly Father, this, that, and the third, Governor. Paul never referred to, anytime Paul referred to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, the word there in the English is Jesus. Same thing with Peter, same thing with Paul. I mentioned Paul, same thing with James. So when IUIC says, oh, he got many names. Oh, his word is above all his name. And like I said, we believe that happened because Bishop Nate had a meeting sometimes in 2010, 2011. He called a meeting saying we're going to agree not to call on the name Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, because prior to that, they would call on the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Kanai, you fucking sell out. Who else? Yahweh Sop, you fucking sell out. I hope you're getting fat checks like my man Nate, because he paid. We believe, we cannot prove it. We didn't get a picture of him at a meeting with a white man with black suits on. White men giving a suitcase full of money and them saying you got to not push that name thing. But we can go back to Tazadakia, where when he started saying, oh, we don't know the name of the Yahushai, his name is Bun Yahweh, then Then they changed it up and said, oh, his Yahweh is really Yahweh Shai, because the connection to Yahweh, the supreme power, the connection to him, the key to him, to open that spiritual door to get to him is through Yahweh Shai. That's St. John chapter 14, verse 6 to be exact. There's no other name of the heaven whereby you can be saved. What is that? Peter said that in Acts 4 and 12. It says there's no other name under heaven whereby ye can be saved. It didn't say names. It didn't give you a list in there. You can call these 5 names, call any one of these 5 names, and you can get to heaven. No, it says there's, matter of fact, let me go to it. That's why I named this, gave this title, the title to this video, "The Lord or the Most High is not the author of confusion." If you're not a part of the elect, you're not going to get it. Something to that effect. So let's go to Acts. These are all basic scriptures any goddamn way. 12. And all these false Israelites out here that's teaching wayward doctrines going off, the Most High is going to get rid of all of them. There's only going to be one true group. It said, okay, so I know what this says. Let me go up above this. So right here, 12. Let me go to the heading right here. Peter and John arrested. Okay. I'll read the first verse. And as they spake unto the people, the priests and the captain of the temple and the Sadducees came upon them, Peter and John, 2 of the apostles, being grieved that they taught the people and preached through Yahweh Shai the resurrection from the dead, because the Sadducees did not believe in the resurrection from the dead. There was a difference between the Sadducees, Pharisees, and the Sadducees. And I might even click on that. But anyway, they arrested him for keep calling on the name of Yahweh Shai. And then when you go to the 5th chapter, remember they beat him. Let's look up Sadducees. And don't worry, I'm going to get into the topic. Where's Sadducees? Sadducees. Let's get some history on the Sadducees. Ask an average Christian what's the difference between the Sadducee and the Pharisee. They don't know. A scholar would know. Sadducees, the righteous. Sadduceus, which I'm not going to go into the roots. A religious party at the time of the Messiah among the Jews, which were Israelites who denied that the oral law was a revelation of the Most High to the Israelites, and who deemed the written law alone to be obligatory on the nation as a divine authority. They denied the following doctrines: resurrection of the body. So when you saying Yahweh Shai raised from the dead, they said, nah, that shit didn't happen. He dead. He ain't come back. Y'all made that shit up that he came back. He never came back, blah, blah, blah. Immortality of the soul. And resurrection also goes into reincarnation, right? Reincarnation is you're resurrected. Your spirit is resurrected into a new body, born again. Resurrection actually means Lazarus. He died. He began to decompose. This Yahweh Shai, created new cells and sinews and everything in his body, and made his body whole and healthy, and called the spirit back into the body. That's why he came. That's it. It's very simple. That's simple. That's easy spiritual science. That's going to be an easy thing in the kingdom. For someone to die and you can call back their spirit. You can heal the body and you can call. We'll be able to heal a body, dead person, head chopped off. You can lose the head. We'll rebuild a new head, put his body together, and call the spirit back. They showed you that in that movie. What the hell is that damn movie? Elysium, where the guy, the main character, the bad guy, he got his head explosion, his head got blown off, and they used this device, and they put his head back. He was dead. They put his head back together and called back the spirit. Good movie. You know, they should have made a part. It was gonna make a part 2. They never did. But I did go and watch the movie. Like Nate, I'm a sci-fi fan too. It says immortality of the soul. Okay, this is what they didn't believe in. Who denied, deemed, written along, as they denied the following. They denied the following doctrines: resurrection. They didn't believe. So when they heard about Lazarus raising, they said that's bullshit. Yahushua died, rose up after 3 days and night. He rose up on the fourth day, but get 1 second after the third day, going into the fourth day, he rose, right? So they said, that's bullshit, because your body, once you die, you don't come back, right? Existence of spirits and angels. These people were pretty much atheists. They were pretty much atheists, all right? Existence of spirits and angels. So they didn't believe in angels. They didn't believe in spirits. Divine predestination, affirm free will. Divine predestination means what? To prophesy. They didn't believe. So they didn't believe that the kingdom is coming, that the Most High is coming back, that Elijah, they didn't believe Elijah coming back. So that was the difference between the Pharisees and the Sadducees, right? I'm jumping around like the house of pain. So deal with me. Now we're gonna go. So now you know the difference between. Well, now you know what the Sadducee is all about. He's pretty much a secular Israelite. They didn't believe in resurrection. They didn't believe in reincarnation. They didn't believe in prophecies. So they didn't accept the prophets. You got the laws there that Moses gave to Moses, follow them laws, and that's it. When you die, you and of course they didn't believe in hell. Another thing that these blockheads from the IUIC teaches, that there's a hell. They just started teaching that about two and a half to 3 years ago. Prior to that, they wasn't teaching that there was a hell. Most High's not dealing with them, man. First thing you know, when you deal with an Israelite group, ask them, you believe in the Most High? Yes. What is his name? If they say Yah, that ain't the one. Don't follow them. If they say Yahuwah, don't follow them. If they say we don't know, don't follow them. If they say Most High and Christ bless, don't follow them. And well, you know what? Go ahead. I'm gonna follow them. Go ahead and follow them, and follow them when they go get that fucking chip. All right. So now let's go to Matthew 23. I'm getting anything. I'm all over the place right about now, but there's lessons within lessons. Okay, where the hell happened? I just typed it in. Matthew's 23. We're going to look up the Sadducees. So the blue letter broken. Okay, let me go to the Pharisees now. Scribes just means record keepers. Okay, saving scribes. Right, the word grammatios meaning writers. They were writers. They kept records. Pharisees. Let's look up the word Pharisees as opposed to the Sadducees. See, they don't teach you this stuff in church. Okay, let's listen to it. And it's from the Hebrew.
Strong's G 5330. Pharisaios. Pharisaios.
Okay, so the word in the Hebrew, the root is Hebrew or of Hebrew origins is parash. So let's look up parash. Let's click on parash. Parash. To make distinct, declare, distinguish, separate, declared, to pierce, sting, scatter. Let's go into the history. What do they say about these guys? Anyway, they believed in the resurrection. They believed in prophecy, but they wouldn't. They didn't. Well, they didn't accept. They pretty much believed everything that the Israelites supposed to believe, except they didn't believe that when the Messiah came that was a Messiah. But some of them did believe it, and some of them knew that he was a Messiah, and then one of them they lied to themselves and others because they knew. Some of them didn't. Nicodemus knew. Others knew. Certain you had scribes and Pharisees and priests that followed after Yahushua. They said, "Nah, this is the Messiah did come." But there was a number of them that didn't believe it. So now you know the difference between the Pharisee and the Sadducee. A Sadducee is basically a secular Negro. He might go to church. He just go to church. He don't care if he die. There's no hell. I just go to church because that's what the community is in the community, whatever the situation is. Anyway, let's get into this here. As a matter of fact, I'm sorry, let's do this. Let's go back. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 14. Go back to the word confusion. For the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all the churches of the saints, as in all the churches, groups of the Israelites. Ephesus, Galatia, Colossus, I said Ephesus, Corinth, Romans. You had Israelites living up in Rome that Paul was addressing. Confusion. Let's look up the word confusion. Nate brings to you confusion, right? But he puts it in a pretty package. You know what got these Jakes, mainly in Harlem? You had these different Father Divine and these different Jakes that made themselves messiahs, and Jake followed them when they had some fancy suit on. They had a turban on their head, and so they looked holy. And that's what Jake, he must be a man of God. Look at how he dressed. Look at how he dressed. The Lord must be willing. Look at them marching down the street. IUIC should march, take that army and march their ass to Kenya, and they'll get rid of all of y'all. They'll slaughter y'all niggas. Anyway, confusion.
Strong's G 181. Akatastasia. Akatastasia.
Instability, a state of disorder, disturbance, confusion. Right, commotion, confusion. Tumults, which is a fight. Tumult. James 3:16, for where envy and strife is, there is confusion, every evil work. So the work of IUIC and ISUPK and these other groups are confused. They bring confusion. Hey, the MOTB, when they say it's not what we say it is at GMS, they're bringing confusion. So anyway, let's go on to the topic. Let's go on to the main thing. So this right here, this guy, he broke off from Farrakhan. He's doing his own thing. He doesn't know what's going on. I first saw him when he came up against IUIC, going back and forth. He calls Nate Bus Stop Nate. He's just a confused dude, you know? And so it says here, Captain Tazariak TV, fair use, fair use, fair use. Tazariak versus FOI, which is Fruit of Islam, which he's not a part of Farrakhan, he got his own thing. Khalil Shabazz, is Yahweh and Allah the same God according to the Bible and Quran? You tell me, oh, I go to the Bible, but I read from the Quran too. You're totally lost. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to try to help you. If I can't see that there's no hope for you, I'm going to leave you alone. Okay? So this is a debate. So let's just start it from here.
You know, if you go to YouTube Studio, you can actually change it while it's live. If you go on your YouTube channel and if you click your name and then go to view channel, then go to, I'm sorry, if you click your name and go to YouTube Studio, you click the live.
I know how to do it, brother.
I forgot who I was talking to. I forgot who I was talking to. My bad. Because you're right. Right.
Okay, so family, the day is the day, man. The topic, y'all already see what the topic is. Allah is Allah the same God as Yahweh?
Yahweh.
According to the Bible and Quran. Y'all already see what it is. We got brother Khalil Shabazz in the building. Shout out to him. FOI, a true follower. And
see, I can see that this guy's not going to get it because he has that overly confident smile like the Lord. You cannot deal. When you go to St. John chapter 3, Nicodemus, right? Nicodemus had to humble himself. This guy is nowhere near humble himself, man. He know the truth is with him, so I wouldn't even talk to the guy. I would make up some excuse and I would say we're doing a video. You know, we're in the middle of an actual topic. We're doing a lecture. If you want, you can come back later. 2 o'clock in the morning, we'll be out. We might be out here. If a nigga stupid enough to come 2 o'clock in the morning talking about where you're at, then you're an idiot, man. But I have no time to dealing with this guy. He's an Israelite. He'll be in the kingdom. He'll have his head down. He'll feel ashamed at the fact that all the years that he wasted being a part of the Islam doctrine.
and believer of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Make no mistake about that. And then, of course, we got...
And I believe they used to teach, if they still don't, somebody correct me in Islam, FOI member correct me, that they used to teach that Elijah was actually Elijah the prophet coming back. That's the hook.
Captain Tazariak, the captain, the man of Harlem, of
the earth, of the earth,
y'all, of the earth, he claims. And this will be a respectful debate, brothers. I ask you, there will be no profanity.
And the captain's lost too, but he knows he's an Israelite. Give him credit for that. But the captain is lost too. Okay, what he should have did was got with GMS. He'll see it. He'll see the light. When they put that, when they make that chip mandatory, he gonna say, "Yo, GMS is right, y'all." You watch what I say.
Of course, I know my brother don't use profanity, and there will be no slander, no calling each other names. This is not a kiddie debate. This is the toughest environment to be in, and both brothers will respect each other's time, and you cannot speak on each other's time. Even if he say something that you disagree with, you would just have to wait until it's your time to address it. We're going to have 10-minute rounds. There's going to be 3 10-minute rounds. The opening round would be 2 minutes to let the people know what it is.
See, this is the look of confidence. Like he knows, man. Look, y'all, come on, Allah is with me. I don't know what y'all talking about. Allah is with me. I got the truth. You guys here just lost souls. I'm just having fun with this.
Why are you here to prove? So the first, second, and third will be 10 minutes. And then after that, we will have a Q&A. You will be able to ask each other, excuse me, you will be able to ask each other 3 questions. In closing, we'll minutes. Are there any questions, brothers?
Oh, you might be saying, well, Tahar, why don't you get into that thing? And I don't waste my time doing this shit. Most I didn't say have ye debates. Just tell them the truth, whether they hear for a bit. That's what the Lord told Ezekiel. Ezekiel 3, eat this roll and tell them the truth, whether they hear for a bit. Not have a debate with them. We're not here to debate. We're not here to discuss matters. We're here to give you the truth. If you can't take it, we're going to move on.
Yeah, can we have a 3-minute opening?
Say that again?
Can the opening be 3 minutes instead of 2 minutes?
Yes. All right. I'll give y'all the 3 minutes. No problem. You can have a 3-minute opening. Are there any questions, Brother Shabazz?
No, sir. No question.
Okay. You are up. You go first in this debate here, and the time will start. Your opening round will start when you start, brother. I want y'all to know I have no friends. I'll be fair with both brothers, and we will put up a poll and let the people judge the debate on their own. This is where the people participate, and the people are going to be fair as well. So
I do. So I have 3 minutes to open my 3-minute opening.
Yes, you can use your whole 3 minutes, or you can yield. It don't matter. It's up to you. Whatever you do with your time is on you. The time will start when you start speaking.
Well, if I'm gonna do an introduction, my purpose for being here is I really want Israel united in Christ. I gotta let that be known, but they keep ducking. So,
oh yeah, they're known for ducking. They're ducking Corey Minor of the Smart Christian. They ducked Dr. James White. They keep ducking Vocab Malone. You know, they ducks. IUIC are ducks. You know. But so like I said, he got a history with IUIC because they did a video and they used the title is Nation Islam selling bean pies or whatever. They like to insult people, you know.
So since Tazariak seemed like he willing, I'll debate him. Because those of us in the Nation of Islam, we don't know Allah because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was reading a book. He was sitting reading the Holy Quran or the Bible. We know Allah because he came himself and made himself known. So that's the huge difference between me and Tazariak and the rest of these Israelites.
And they teach that Allah, it came in the form of a white man named Master Farad Muhammad. Then go to the Arabs over there, because they don't know Farad. You go to any Arab country, you know about Master Farad. You know, and we don't know Master Farad. This guy was he was either from Finland or from a European country. He looked like Robert De Niro, looked like a straight up white man. And he came to Elijah Poole, told him I'm Allah, this, that, and he believed it, and then it goes, you know, then it goes into that all that mess.
Israelites, they are what you call spook worshipers. They believe in a God that only exists in their mind. Because when you believe in a spook, there's no rules to a spook. You can believe that Jesus rode a cloud into heaven. That's spook belief.
See, this is a complete waste of time. This is a complete waste of time. This is going nowhere, but it's entertaining. Remember what Alonzo said, right? He said 99% of this thing in the paper is bullshit, but I find it entertaining. So we're just being entertained by this. By the three of them. We're being entertained by him, and entertained by him. Anybody that worship this Islamic brand of Islamic did not. I mean, I can understand you worship go to the Middle East with the way they worship. That's the true worshipers, right? These are not, but you don't worship that either. There's no Allah.
You can believe that Moses stuck a rod in some water and parted millions of gallons of water and underneath the water, the ground was dry. You can believe that Jesus rose from the dead. That's spook belief.
So basically, he would be, if you want to categorize him as an Israelite 2,000 years ago, he would be a Sadducee. Sadducees don't believe in spirits. They don't believe in angels. They don't believe in prophets. They just believe in the Lord. Just 5 books of Moses. That's it. We don't believe in David. And maybe they believed in David, but they didn't believe in the prophets. You die, and that's it. There's no hell. There's no resurrection. There's no nothing. So that's what he is. If you want to categorize him, going back 2,000 years ago, so he's completely lost. But you can see the arrogancy in his face, the eruditeness, you know.
But the difference between us and Tazariak, and the reason why we know that Allah is God, is because he's a real life God that came to a real life city. He raised a real life messenger, and his messenger resurrected a real life dead people. So when Tazariak talks about,
so my question is this: is the Allah the same Allah over there in the Middle East? If he says I don't know, if he says yes, they worship Allah too. But why is Esau the devil beating their, kicking their, slaughtering them? Why are they being slaughtered? They pushed them out of Gaza. They fucking them up.
Yahweh, he never saw Yahweh. He real life dead people. So when Tazariak talks about Yahweh, he never saw Yahweh.
Well, then that takes away the faith. So they just know, if they say the Yahoo, the big-headed scientist, created the white man in a laboratory, where's it out? Well, it's in the tablets. If you go to the tablets and you go to this, I said, where did these books come from? Who wrote those books? The angels. Okay, what angel? I mean, this is a fairy tale. This is in the realm of fairy tale. Some Negro told him this, that, and the third about this God, Allah, and the niggas just believed it. That's the thing about Jake. Jake don't check shit out. If the members of IUIC was to fact check with everything that Bishop Nate teaches, they would all leave. But they don't. They're weak-minded people.
He don't know nobody who saw Yahweh. So he just gonna tell you a whole lot of spookism. So that's my introduction.
All right, you got a whole minute left. So you healing on your time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm new to the debate scene, so this is my first one.
All right. Let me just give you a little advice. We're going to move on over to Captain Tazariak. You want to be able to use every time you got, even if once you open up and you might want to get something out, that's your opportunity to get it all out. It ain't got to be the same topic because you already said that, but you can probably run to something else and get it out. Anyway, Captain, time will start, brother, when you're ready, when you start speaking. Hey, and one more thing. Leave our brother Moses alone. Let him write. Let him get it in, y'all. Let him get it in. Let's not be trigger happy on the people. Let them write, long as they don't disrespect the guests or us or you, our moderators. Go ahead, Captain. Time will start when you're ready.
Hey, you don't want to give him an option to use his minute that he needed.
No, he healed already. He healed.
Oh, because he it's such an amateur move. I didn't know if you wanted to give him that or not. That's my only other question. Can I share my screen in my 3 minutes?
Sir.
Okay, so before I speak, I just want to share my screen. So I'm going to share, and then I just want you to make sure we can hear what I'm going to show. All right.
And you can see the comment board. These people come on here with different belief systems, and they pretty much here. This is part of the entertainment, man.
Yeah, as you're getting ready, shout out to New Torah Movement. Make sure y'all subscribe to my brother. He be getting it in over there. When people come at the Israelites, he go over there and set it straight. I was watching him yesterday. He ain't know I was watching, but I was in the building. Shout out to my brother.
Hold on one second. I'm just trying to pull this down.
Oh, and of course, shout out to KOT, my songwriter. Shout out to KOT. Let's go, Captain.
All right, so let me see. I just want to, because sometimes when you're sharing a window, it doesn't work as fluid when you're trying to get the audio, and I just want to make sure the audio is played. So I'm doing entire screen. Okay, so I'm gonna play this audio right here. Can you just tell me if you can hear this?
You want to start over?
No. Yeah, I'm gonna start it over. I'm gonna play this. You can start my
Need to
time.
share your screen?
Wait. Yeah, I need to share the screen because I'm gonna play it. You said you could hear it, right?
Yes, I could hear it. We could hear it.
All right, no sweat. So you can start my time now. The reason why I asked for 3 minutes because this is 2 minutes and 9 seconds, and I want to get this out.
All right,
It's
time
amazing
stop
to
when
me.
you press play on your button.
Okay. No. I was gonna do a build up before I press play, so I don't want to disrespect it. So when I start talking, now, you can start my time.
Yes, exactly.
It's interesting. He said, Far Muhammad, who people argue is a white man, is who he calls Allah, because according to according to Elijah Muhammad, the first Muslim was a white man. The founder of the Muhammad was a white man. Let's hear it, and let's hear what Farrakhan says.
I am Elijah of your Bible.
Did you hear what he said? Elijah Muhammad. He said, I am Elijah of your Bible. I am Elijah of your Bible. If he was Elijah of the Bible, Malachi, fulfillment of Malachi, Isaiah, would not he tell the people that they're Israelites? Let's listen to it again. This is already done. Let me bring this back.
Muhammad, the first Muslim was a white man. The founder of the Muhammad was a white man. Let's hear it, and let's hear what Farrakhan says.
I am Elijah of your Bible.
I am Elijah of your Bible. Jake just believed it because they don't know what else is in Christianity. This black guy comes, oh my goodness, look at his suit, look at the hat, the star and the moon, stars and all this. This is beautiful, man. Look at how they dress. They all dressed. They're marching. Remind me of the IUIC. Like I said, I use this example of how a Jake buys a car or jewelry. If the jewelry looking good, they don't know the difference between whether it's an 18 karat, 14 karat, 10 karat, brass, overlay. They don't know. Jake don't check shit, and they'll spend. They don't know the price of real gold. They smile. Them jewelers, when Jake come in, them rappers come in, they smile. Jake the jeweler, he's a so-called small hat Edomite that was ripping off these Jakes in the hip hop industry, man. Cause Jake don't study.
I'm your Muhammad of your Holy Quran.
Now, I also want to point out when he tried to say we believe in these other people or prophets, his so-called leaders believe in our prophets too.
Not the Muhammad that was here near 1,400 years ago. I am the one that the Holy Quran is referring to. The Muhammad that was here 1,400 years ago was a white man.
You heard what he said? The Muhammad of
Here
1400.
1,400 years ago was a white man.
Muhammad 1400
And Muhammad's supposed to be of Arab descent.
years ago was a white man, so they teach that Muhammad is a white man. You need two witnesses. I guess you got to have two witnesses when we're going through with it. So let's see if there's another witness that comes, because this is how you know that the God of the Bible and the God of the Quran are not the same.
But then Muhammad was born. Bear with me. Muhammad was born in Arabia. Now, what many of you may not know, Muhammad was a white person. But he was the best.
So they're following Muhammad, the God, the prophet of Allah, is a white man. You heard it from the founder, Elijah, which he says he's Elijah of the Bible, Malachi 4, coming back. If he was to come back, he'd bring them back to the Lord, statutes and commandments, and tell them that they're Israelites. But Jake doesn't know. You get a guy, you see this nice suit. See, all you got to do with a Negro, to get a Negro, a bunch of Negroes to follow you, is put on a nice suit. He's all white, not a spot on him, man. Nice little hat, nice little suit. Handsome guy, you know. Clean shaven. If he had that beard and he came in looking like John the Baptist, no one would follow him. See, Negroes judge things on the outside. If it looks, you see a big butt woman, a lot of y'all are waking up, look at that ass. That ass is a BBL. Them titties are augmented. Look that word up. A breast augmentation. Look up augmentation. I want you to look up something. Don't be asking me, what does augmentation mean? Look it up, nigga. So Captain is fucking this guy up. I want to see what this guy's response is, man. And like I said this before, and I'm going to continue to say it. The hardest person to get to come to this truth is somebody in Islam. That's a special kind of demon that's on them. And Christians too.
He was the best.
Race ever produced.
The best that the race ever produced.
Sign of a man who held his nature in perfect.
That white man held his nature in perfect will of God.
Now he could say, in the way he says it, he can say, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a nigga by the toe. Oh, preach, brother, preach. Low-level Negroes. That's a topic. That's a topic for you, Apostle Rhyme Lob, or whoever want to take it. Low-level Negroes. That's a topic right there. That's a series. Low-level Negroes. A low-level Negro cannot get this truth. Another topic.
There, Muhammad.
Muhammad ibn Abdullah.
Muhammad ibn Abdullah.
Uh-oh, wait a minute. He's a secret. Hey, wait a minute, Captain Cesariak. He said that it was too fluid. I think Captain Cesariak is a secret. He's a crypto Islamicist. Captain Cesariak is a crypto Islamicist. Captain Cesariak is a crypto Mohammedan. So watch out for him.
The most noble of men.
The most noble of men was a white man.
For men,
It broke his heart
when he couldn't
convert the Europeans. So when he couldn't convert other white people,
he went to stupid Negroes in the hood.
you know who he got to? You know who he ran to?
The stupid
Niggas.
That's a topic, man.
This is not it.
What they call it, low-level Negroes. You know who's the masses that follow IUIC? Low-level Negro. ISBK, low-level Negroes.
In the Bible. He's going to have to show that this is in the Bible. And that's what we're going to get into. So Elijah Muhammad and Farrakhan said that the original first prophet Muhammad was a white man. That's why they can accept for it. How much time I got left? Did I do that right?
You have 15 seconds left.
15 seconds. So how are we going to follow them when they leading us right to the white man that they say is the devil? But I guess this one white man was so perfect in form with the God. Time. I'm ready.
Yeah, Esau pulled a fast one on the Most High. That's another topic right there.
Rock and roll.
Time. All right, my brother Shabazz. You up, brother. You up. You got your first 10 minutes. Time will start when you're ready.
Okay, I want to present my screen.
Yes, time will start when you're ready, brother. Let me know.
Okay, hold on.
You remember how to do it, right?
Present screen
Yep,
and then share screen.
exactly.
Okay. There we go. Okay, share. So
All right, I see it. Yeah, I'm trying to share it.
Okay.
It's not sharing though. It's
It's not?
Oh, hold on. Let me remove that first. There you go.
Okay.
All right, your screen is up.
So the first problem that Tazariak is having is Tazariak, he believes, or he doesn't know, that the white man wrote the Bible to hide the truth from the black man. So one of the ways that the white man hides the truth from the black man is that he makes a concept when Moses met with Jehovah. Jehovah said, according to the Bible, which is a lie added in by the Jews, he says, I am the God of thy fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. That is a lie that was added in by Jews. The Holy Quran corrects that lie. When you go to the Holy Quran, chapter 28, verse 30, this is what the Holy Quran corrects the story of Moses. When Allah speaks to Moses, he don't say, I'm the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He says, I am the Lord of the worlds. Because Allah is just as much the God over the wicked as he is the God over the righteous.
But wait a minute. The Quran was written in back 600 AD. The law was written long before that. So where are the sources, man? I mean, it's, like I said, man, a Negro, hey, remember the commercial? The United Negro College Fund? A mind is a terrible thing to waste. You Negroes are not right in the mind. That's why you got to, in order for your eyes to be open up to this truth, you got to be a part of the elect. And that includes the MOTB, understand, which he doesn't have. So as it stands, he's not one of the elect. I pray that the Captain Tazariak finally gets it and leaves the ISUBK. He don't got to get with GMS. He knows enough to be on his own. He can be his own man, have his own followers. But if he continues to teach that the MOTB is a micro C-hip, even to the point where it's time to get it, he may wake up. I believe he'll wake up if he's one of the elect, provided that he's one of the elect. I believe that, not my personal belief. Don't say, well, you prophesied. Nope. I said my personal belief is that there's many elect, in my belief, that's scattered through the various Hebrew Israelite organizations, IUIC, ISPK, so forth and so on. If they are the elect and the MOTB comes and their leader happens to say, you got to take it, you're not breaking the laws of the Most High, the elect are going to say, I ain't with that shit. So we're going to see. We're going to see. It's April, May, June, July, August, September, October. In 6 months in Europe, Christine Lagarde and Dawada to the brother. Give me a name, brother, so I can remember it. I heard your name. I'm not good with names. That he came up from Florida, and because I forgot Lagarde's name, Christine Lagarde. He brought it up. He said, "You talking about?" I said, "Yes, brother." He gave me a hug. I said, "Shalom." I said, "Shalom to your peoples down there in Florida." So give me a name, so I can remember it.
He is just as much God over the ant as he is the God over the eagle. He is just as much God over the atom as he is the God over the...
Why did he say... Let me bring this back. Okay. Well, it said, I am the God of what do you say, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Meaning, I'm dealing with this is the line I'm dealing with. This is the chosen line. Of course, he's a God. He created everything. The hell are you talking about? He's talking about I'm dealing with this line, this lineage, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which, by the way, are all Israelites. They were not called Israelites at that time. That name didn't come up until Jacob's name was changed. So this dude is lost.
The son. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that Allah gives the devil mercy. He says Allah gives the devil right guidance. Because the difference between Allah and this spook that Tazariot believe in. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that even the wicked will not have an excuse against Allah.
Okay, well, one of the wicked is your God, Allah. Allah is the wicked. He's a white man, right? They're saying that Allah came down in the person of Farad Muhammad, which is a white man, which is the devil. Y'all teach the white man is the devil. So Allah is the devil, according to y'all.
He said because he gives the devil or the wicked right guidance. The same right guidance that he gives to the righteous, he gives to the wicked.
Who are the righteous? Who are the righteous?
The same mercy that he gives to the righteous, he gives to the wicked. So Allah will be justified in destroying the wicked. Because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that if Allah was like how Tazariot believe Allah is, then the wicked would have an excuse or argument with Allah and say, if you would have did us like you do them, we would have been good. So the messenger says that Allah is the most merciful and he's a just God. So the wicked won't even have an excuse against Allah. They will have no excuse. Because the same rules, the same laws, the same everything that he gives to the righteous, he gives to the wicked, because Allah is the Lord of the world. Now let's continue on. Because another mistake that Tazariot makes, because he's a spook worshiper, he continues to talk about Prophet Muhammad. He talks about Prophet Muhammad with...
I can't listen to this, man. Let me jump. I can't listen to this nonsense here. Let me go back to Captain Tazariak. I can't listen to this nonsense. No, I'm gonna get a headache. This is complete madness. Okay, so let me go. He's here in Deuteronomy 34, 7-10.
But the white man wrote the Bible.
Oh, so hey, wait a minute. So he's Moses too. This is madness right here, man.
Bible to hide the truth from the black man. So we see the similarities of Moses.
There's many nations of black people. Which black man are you talking about?
And we see how those similarities fit the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So we understand that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is a modern Moses. And just like with Moses, when he died, Allah or Jehovah told the people, or Joshua, that he knew nobody else face to face like he knew Moses. So even though Joshua was a prophet, all Joshua could do was tell the people what Moses taught him.
Time. Save that for your next round. You want to leave it right?
This is complete madness. So this is why when you see somebody that's in Islam walk by, don't say nothing to him. Don't. If you see him with the Muslim regalia on, just don't say nothing to him. Just let him walk. And then if they stop and they ask questions, they look at the sign, have a conversation, then you can tell them, when they bring their stuff, you tell them that's a lie, it's madness. If they get mad, You disrespect. I just yes we are. I said this is my belief. Okay, this is going nowhere. Trust me. If you can get a Muslim to become an Israelite, and you got a couple of them, you good. You good. You damn good. Cause there's a special kind of demon on a Jake that's in Islam. A special kind of demon.
Right there. Okay, Captain Tazariak, are you locked and loaded? Are you ready?
Yeah, you might want to give him like. Did he start yet?
Yeah. Do you want to go 15 minutes, Captain, or just keep it at the 10?
The 10 is fine. I mean,
Okay.
don't matter
Okay.
to me.
I know y'all got a lot of information, brother. So
It ain't really a lot of
you
information.
ready? Your screen is sharing, Captain.
Yeah. Yes, I am gonna share my
Let me
screen.
know when you're ready, Captain.
I'm gonna, and now I want to share my screen and play a video, and then I want to pause it and then share my PowerPoint that I have as well.
All right. You want to share your
The
screen?
video, right? So I'm gonna share my screen and play the video. I'm gonna stop the video, then I'm gonna stop the share and then share my PowerPoint that I have. Okay?
Okay. All right.
No sweat.
All
So
right.
when I'm share. You got it there. So let me see if I slide this over. Just tell me if you can hear this. I slide this. So I'm gonna slide this over, and then you tell me if you can hear this or not. Can you hear this?
No, I can't hear it.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop. Let me try to stop sharing. Let me do it this way.
Share with sound. Remember, share.
Yeah. So let me stop sharing my screen. Let me present, share screen. I want to show y'all what a schizophrenic person is. This brother's schizophrenic. All right, I'm gonna share now, and I'm just gonna play a little bit of it. You tell me if you can hear it.
I could believe that his
Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it.
All right, so you can start my time. I'm gonna talk now. But now before you start it, I'm gonna play this part, stop it, and go to my PowerPoint. I just want to play
Okay.
this. So you can start it. Yeah, thank you. This is what schizophrenia is. This man said the white man tampered with the Bible, but they see similarities between Moses and his Elijah. You only see similarities when it benefits you, or did the white man tamper? Because if somebody tampered with something and then you picking pieces that you say is legit, then how could you say that he tampered with it when you believe the tampering? So now when he say that, he also made a point to say that the Allah would have to give them a God or a prophet that looked like them. That's why they got Muhammad. But this is what Elijah Muhammad's son said.
believed that he was God, then I could believe that his teacher was God, because his teacher was a white man, and he said white people were devils.
I'm gonna stop. That's all I need. I don't need no more than that. Let me go ahead and stop that. Let me go ahead and stop that. And now let me reshare the screen to my PowerPoint. Now I'm gonna share the screen. I'm gonna share the entire screen over here. Boom. So you should see my screen now, right? All right. So now you can resume my time. And so now we got Elijah Muhammad, their founder of the Nation of Islam, saying the first Muslim was white. You got Farrakhan saying that was the best white man. Then him saying we can't go with the Bible because the Bible is tampered with. But then he also says that they see similarities between Moses and Elijah. They trust the white man. They trust the white man when it benefits them to trust the white man. They trust the white man. They listen to the white man. He said that was the best white man that they could have. The subject of this debate is Allah and Yahweh. Some people may say Jehovah. Allah and Yahweh, are they the same according to the Bible and the Quran? As I did in my presentation, I will do now. So I don't see I see us on the screen, not my PowerPoint slot. There we go. So now when you see, first I want to get right to it. Can you beat your wife in the Quran? Yes, you can. Muhammad said, Surah 4:34, men are protectors and maintainers of women because Allah has given one more strength than the other, and because they support them from their means. Therefore, the righteous women are devoutly obedient.
Okay, well, yeah, you can beat your wife. She goes off, Hey, in Israel, in the scriptures, priest has a daughter that plays a harlot, meaning she's dealing with one man, she's dealing with another man. She's supposed to be with one man. It was up to the father. She's not married because she's going from man to man. The father, as a priest, which we all will be priests, the way you get rid of your daughter is you burn her. That's what the scriptures say. your son, if he's lazy, he doesn't want to get a job, you take the men of that town, stone them to death, get rid of them. So, beating a wife is kind of like a mild thing compared to burning your daughter. So, and you can sell Israelite man can sell his daughter into slavery to another Israelite man. Once the sale, takes place, she's a servant unto that man forever, unless that Hebrew man that purchased the Hebrew daughter from the other Hebrew Israelite man, unless he marries the daughter, the woman, the man's daughter, and then she becomes wife status. Other than that, she's a concubine, even though she's an Israelite. Or he can say, "I'm going to have you marry my son," and she has no say to the matter. But then she becomes a wife status. So come on, Captain.
Now, it says, as to the women on whose...
Give me a second. Forgive me.
Whose part ye fear disloyalty, ill conduct, admonish them first, next refuse their bed, and last you beat them. Good night. So if you follow the Quran and your woman get out of line and say deny her that rod, when half the time the rod is the medicine. The rod is the medicine that the woman need, but the Quran say deny her the rod. Then it says you can beat her lightly. In the Bible, if you find some uncleanness in her, in Deuteronomy 24:1, you could actually just divorce her. Why go through the violent nature that can come across from hitting a woman? I just don't know what woman is going to let you beat them lightly. Then in Ephesians, it says, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. This is harmony, because then it says, for the husband is the head of the wife, Christ is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the...
There's no harmony, real harmony now. The scripture says, especially if you're the elect, the Apostle Paul said, but I warn you shall have trouble in the flesh. I don't care if she's a believer or not. Oh, that's only for women that don't believe. Nope. That's women for Israelite women, know she's an Israelite or not, knowing that she's an Israelite. Apostle Paul said, I wish you be like me, having no woman. Be free of all that extra baggage. But I warn you, you shall have trouble in the flesh. It also says, if your woman, in the Apocrypha, if your woman will not go as you have her to go, put her away, cast her off, and give her a bill of divorcement and let her go. But in the case of if your woman commits adultery, you can put her to death.
The body. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. So our real prophet, Jesus Christ, said that the wife submits, the husband submits, you love each other, you come together. The Quran says if you fear disloyalty, eventually you could beat them if they get out of line. This cannot be the same God. Again, so we got the name is different. You can beat your wife. I done already shown they love white people. I done played it. Let's go to the next slide. Let's see what else is saying here. This is the next one. Is Allah and Yahweh the name the same? Psalms 83:18 says that many may know that thou whose name is Jehovah, we would say Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. You're not going to see Yahweh in the Quran. You're going to see Allah in the Quran. That's not his name. As far as a prophet, even if so history says that Muhammad was an Arab or Ishmaelite. The Muslims say the black Muslims say that Muhammad was a white man. Both of them are disqualified from the Bible. Remember, he has to show that the Bible and the Quran is the same God. I'm saying that they're not. So now he has to show, because in our book, it says the only prophets we can have is one of our own people. We can't have a prophet of black people that's not black, that does not come from the 12 lost tribes of the children of Israel. Deuteronomy 18 says, I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, not another race, not some white man that Farrakhan said was the best white man. That's what Farrakhan said. Muhammad was the best white man. And that the other white men rejected Islam. And so, of course, their rejection, now he comes to the niggas and say, yeah, y'all take this religion. And what?
That's exactly what happened.
What did black people do? Follow behind another white man's religion. What he don't even realize he's saying is that this is a white man's religion. Because if Muhammad was white, and you can have black prophets, but your founder is white, that's a white man's religion by the FOI and NOI's position. The Arabs would disagree with this. Galatians 1:6 says, I marvel that ye are so soon removed from him that called you into grace unto another gospel. Verse 8, but though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed.
Now that's talking about Nate, him changing the gospel inside of the years, going on YouTube. He went from there's no such thing as hell, hell is a pit, grave, to there's an actual place that you're going to burn in forever. And only Israelites will burn in hell. No, Edomites too. Well, how can Edomites go into captivity? If they're all the devil, they all deserve to be condemned. They should all go to hell. Where are you going to get the slave from? Bishop Nate also took the name, true name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and said, oh, we're not going to call on him. We're going to call him Most High and Christ Blessed. Friday sundown, Saturday sundown is a Sabbath. No, it's not, unless it falls on the new moon. The Sabbath can come in any day of the week based upon when the new moon comes in. That's something that the IUIC goes off on, and the ISCPK UPK goes on in other camps. Bishop Nate also teaches that the new moon is the full moon. He started teaching that sometime in around end of October, beginning of November 2016. Because when I first saw the video, I jumped on him and cut him on that, and the masses of the people believed it. The full moon is the new moon. So when they keep the Passover, they actually keep the Passover on a new moon, which is a dark moon, when they're supposed to be keeping it on the full moon, which is the second week into a new moon, which is the dark moon. What else do they teach? There's a lot of things that they go off on. You know, the main thing is the name. Oh, you can only have one woman. You can't, and this is why he makes them clowns bishops and deacons. He's not going to call them apostles or prophets or disciples, because the one woman to one man applies to bishops and deacons. So he was slick. So you captains, Captain Isaac, Captain Joel, Captain Gadaliah, you guys can have more than one woman. If he says something, he said, wait a minute, I'm a captain. Where does it say a captain can only have one woman? David had many wives.
So you can't bring a different God to us. You can't. In that dude's hat, Khalil's hat, I believe he has a moon in there. There's a moon in his hat. There's a star in his hat. You show me in the Bible where we can worship the moon, where we can worship a moon god, where we can have a moon idol, where we can have that crescent star. You show me that in the Bible.
Allah is just, the Arabs believe in many gods. They had 360 gods. Allah was just one of the gods. And they were able to pick, I believe it was 3. The main god is the moon god, which is Allah. And that's in Deuteronomy, I think it's 4:17. Is Allah the moon god? The argument, I'm not going to read this crap. The argument that Allah, God in Islam, originated as a moon god, first arose in 19... Okay. And a scholarship with an archaeologist who go Allah. Let's see, who is the god? See, Google be changing shit. Google known for changing shit up. Okay, Habul. Let's try Habul. In pre-Islamic Arabian mythology, Hubble, like you have the Hubble telescope, was a deity often considered a moon god worshipped by the Qurayshi tribe at the Kaaba in Mecca. So that back then he was called Habul. You go to the Mecca, right? The what do you call that? Hadith. I forget. I'm not an Arabic scholar, not like that. What do you call your pilgrimage? There's a term, Arabic term for it. It says, and his idol was destroyed by Muhammad upon his conquest. So they were worshiping Habul, which they said, well, the true God is Allah, which is nothing but the moon god. Habul was the lord of the Kaaba. Like I said, let me do this. They went to the Kaaba to worship the moon god, right? What's the relationship between Allah and the Kaaba stone? Habul, moon god, and Allah the same. Before Islam, the Kaaba contained a statue representing the god Habal on the basis that the Kaaba was also Allah's house. I don't got to read no more. So let's come on back.
And then you can tell me that the God of the Bible...
Oh, I'm sorry. They worship the moon god. Habal, the original name. Allah, name changed to Allah. This is Deuteronomy 4:17. Okay, wait a minute. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me do this. Okay, it's actually 19. Deuteronomy 4 verse 19. Unless thou lift up thine eyes upon the heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the hosts of heaven, should it be driven to worship them. They go to the Kaaba to worship Allah. Former name of Allah was Habul. Let's come on back.
Bible and the God of the Quran is the same. Because in our book, we can't have no graven images. That's the first commandment. The first commandment, Exodus 20, says, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Verse 4, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is the heaven above, or that is the earth beneath, or that is under the water or earth for worship. And that moon is because they worship that moon. They're going to tell you it's a woman. They're going to tell you the star is the kid. They're going to tell you the sun is the man, or whatever nonsense, 5% of nonsense they're going to make up.
Well, that goes back to Egyptians, man, worshiping of the bodies of heaven.
But that's not in the Bible. He has to show that that's in the Bible. That's the argument here. Even what I'm saying about the white man part, that's cool, but it's only cool for me because the Israelites can't follow white people. Israelites can't follow Arabs. Israelites can only follow Israelites. That's the only criteria that Moses laid out that he loves. You'll notice if I was to pull every single speaker of the Nation of Islam, they always quoted this prophets that he said we believed in that wasn't real. We believe in some spook god. But Malcolm, Ezekiel, Farrakhan, the Bible. He just referenced the Bible. He did more referencing of his leader to a man in my book than he did in his book. He gave Muhammad to a white man. Just think about that. He made his leader subjected to a white man in his own book. Let me see if I go to the next one. How much time I got? Oh, sorry.
This American black form of Islam is confusion. But Jacob, Israelites, Negroes, I'm saying Negroes, I'm talking about all the tribes, Latin tribes as well. They're blacking out in their mind. You give them something, they'll take it because there's nothing else to offer. You give them a religion, in this particular religion, on Sundays, the pastor gives you $1,000. Guess what? You're all going to follow that religion because you're going to get money.
Look like I stepped away. Then it says, is salvation through Christ? Or
2 minutes.
Appreciate it. Is salvation through Christ or salvation through Muhammad? He has to show the change. So in the Bible, it says God's only begotten son is Christ and Israel. Christ in the heavens, Israel on earth. John 3:16 says, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. But when you go to the Quran, it says salvation is through Muhammad as Allah's prophet. So we got a conundrum here. Whose God is telling the truth? Either Allah's telling the truth, or the Yahweh's telling the truth, or maybe they're just two different gods with their own prophets. And that's what we have to realize in 2025. We have lived a lie long enough. The lie that we have lived is that the Quran and the Bible are the same God. That is an absolute lie. An absolute lie. Every prophet in the Bible has been the same race, Israelites. By his and his father's belief system, that race has changed. It's been white, it's been Arab, and now it's black. That's not in the, that's not in the Bible. Then it says, in the Quran, they say that Christ wasn't crucified. Surah 4:157 says that, but they neither killed nor crucified him. It was only made to appear so. Even those who argue.
This is complete. The Jake that followed the FOI, they all came out of Christianity. That's the only religion you had, niggas had. Christianity, Baptist, Methodist, whatever. So all these Jakes in the Islam, FOI, are former Christians. So now they believe that the Messiah was hung on a tree, on a cross, but now the Quran says, oh, he wasn't, and you guys don't judge. That's you people. That's why we call you people zombies, man. Look up the word zombie.
His crucifixion are in doubt. That's not in the Bible. Luke 24:4-6 says, he is not here, but is risen. Remember how he spake unto you when you was in Galilee, saying, the Son of Man must be delivered into the hands of sinful men, crucified, and the third day rise again. The Bible and the Quran do not agree with each other at all. And he has to prove that they do.
Time. All right, we have completed the first round. Powerful round from both of you brothers. Powerful round. All right, my brother Khalil Shabazz. Time will start when you are ready. I see your PowerPoint is up. You could continue from wherever you want to start at, my brother.
So, just to touch on.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Time starts.
No, you ain't.
Noah was not an Israelite. Allah sent Noah to his people with the language of his people.
Noah came back as an Israelite. There's another thing, they don't understand the concept of reincarnation.
Enoch was not an Israelite.
Enoch came back as an Israelite. They were all Israelites. They just wasn't, that label was not put on them.
Even to show how just Allah is, Allah sent Jonah to Nineveh. Nineveh was the enemies to the Israelites. And Jonah...
Then people in Nineveh, you had mixed people and you had Israelites. The people that Jonah was sent to were Israelites for the most part. But then you had other nations as well. Remember, Israelites were scattered. The Lord is stranger. Read about that. You guys have no idea what the scriptures are all about.
Jonah was an Israelite. He didn't want to go to Nineveh. But Allah still sent him to Nineveh. Then Nineveh accepted Allah. So Allah sends prophets and
What did he accept? What the fuck is this nigga talking about, man?
messengers to all the people. When we talking about Allah, because we want to show, since he said that we don't use our book, because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is prophesied in both books, Bible and Holy Quran. And an actual fact that I want to make, we the one.
And he was confused. He was confused. Malcolm did a speech saying that the moon was a part of the earth, and somehow something hit the earth, and a piece of the earth flew up into the heavens and went into space, and that's your moon today. So Malcolm X was lost. Malcolm X was told that he was an Israelite by Elder Yaquab and High Priest Ariyah, because Malcolm was around. Just like Khalid Muhammad was around us. We used to talk to Khalid Muhammad. He used to attend the classes at One West. I got it on video. I just can't. I got it on the old VHS, so I got to find it. And I got old VHS tapes. I don't know if it's gonna play, but he used to come to the classes. He used to ask for myself, Yeshaya, and Ariyah. And I used to always kind of meet him. We used to talk. And he acknowledged that he was Israelite. He said it. It's on YouTube. He had the interview with what's this guy from New York News 1. And he said that the so-called blacks in America are Israelites. And he said, you need to go to the school, which at that time was 1941 Madison. That was the late 90s, 99 maybe. So Malcolm X was told that he was an Israelite, and he started to begin. From what I heard, he started beginning to believe it. And Khalid Muhammad believed it. He said, "Yep, we're Israelites."
Who really showed Tazariot now about the Bible. Just a quick point. When you look at Abba Bivens, because today Tazariot telling us about Yahweh. Abba Bivens used to worship or practice Judaism no different than a white Jew.
Well, give you a story. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, BJJ. You know where it came from? Japan. It's a Japanese art. If you know the backstory, Japanese businessman came to Brazil, and he one of the fathers of the Gracies, the patriarch. He helped the Japanese man out. The man knew jiu-jitsu. He said, because you helped me out, I'm going to show you this art, jiu-jitsu. Which judo is like a watered down form of jiu-jitsu. True judo is jiu-jitsu. Brazilian jiu-jitsu. You go on and fight on the ground. Goes back to the samurais. The Gracies got so good at it, and the Brazilians got so good at it that's a Japanese art, And the Japanese had to go to the Brazilians to learn Brazilian jiu-jitsu to get their art back. So the same thing happened right here. The Most High we had to follow these people, and they went off. We found that they went off. Sabbath, Saturday, sundown is not, it's not lawful. We had to get it from somewhere,
You see, he got a Torah. He didn't believe in the God of the Bible until they heard the Muslims. That's just a quick point. But the
where's that?
Honorable Elijah Muhammad is prophesied in both Bible and Holy Quran. Now let's look at the Holy Quran and see where the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is prophesied. First, we gonna go to Malcolm X. This is in a university teaching how the Honorable Elijah is prophesied from both Bible and Quran.
Malcolm X is the same guy that said there was a staff or whatever shot at the earth and a piece of the earth broke off and it went up outside of the orbit of the earth and it became the moon. So this guy, he was a good, he had the gift of gab, but what he brought to the world was confusion. That's all he did. Malcolm didn't know what was going on. He was duped. That's why eventually he left him, and he was still duped. He was still confused. Trying to go to the UN. He didn't know the prophecies. He was just a guy that talked the good talk. That's all Malcolm X was. The movie The Inkwell, the dude said Malcolm X was a demigod. That means a god of the people. Had a bunch of people following him. When he went down, Islam went down by numbers. Because Jake likes to follow one guy. Oh, look at the way he dressed. Look at the way he speaks. That whole church thing, the mega church. If a guy wears a nice $5,000 suit and he talks a good talk, niggas will come out the woodwork to follow this guy. No matter what ridiculousness he tells them.
Right. This is how the Israelites learned the Bible. They wasn't nowhere around in the 60s, the 50s, the 30s, and the 40s. So
now you can go back to Wentworth, Cherry. You can look at Vocab Malone. He has all that information. So they was always teaching. My family, when I was a kid, they said we Israelites. This is not. I'm not hearing it because of it. I've been knew when I was a kid. You Israelites.
It says in the Holy Quran. It says, "He it is who raised from among the illiterates a messenger from among themselves, who recites to them the book and the wisdom, although they were before in manifest error." This is Holy Quran 62 verse 2. Then the second prophecy of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He says also, those who follow the messenger prophet, the illiterate one, whom they find in the Torah and gospel, he enjoins them good, forbids them evil, and makes lawful to them good profits for.
And how did that apply to Elijah Muhammad? That can apply. You can apply that to Donald J. Trump. You can apply that to Hitler.
Things and remove from them their burdens and shackles which were once on them. So those who believe in him and help him, those will be the successful. So let's go on because we want to just skip straight to the point to show how this is a prophecy of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Oh, he's still alive. He never died. He went up into the mothership. He's up there in space. Esau can't get to him, but he's up there in a ship. He never died, and this is to this day. Farrakhan teaches that. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and prove that. He's in the mothership. Give me a second. Is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in the mothership? In the context of the Nation of Islam, NOI, The belief is that Elijah Muhammad did not die, but see, just like Tazadakia, oh, he gonna raise back up next year. Next year come by, don't raise up. Next year he definitely gonna raise up. He been in the spiritual realm for 5 years. Go back 2 days ago, April 1st, 2020. He been in the spiritual world for 5 years. Every year they tell him he gonna raise up this year, brothers. Y'all want to be here when he gets raised back up from the dead. So they saying the same thing about Elijah Muhammad. He never died. He's alive. He got beamed up into the mothership, and he's waiting to come down to destroy the white man. Which, by the way, the Gala is a white man. This is nothing but confusion. But Jake's brain doesn't work correct. You know, their brain malfunctions. It said in the context of the Nation of Islam, the belief is that Elijah Muhammad did not die but was restored to health and is now aboard the huge wheel-like plane, the mother plane they call it, the mother plane that is even now flying over our heads, also known as the mother ship or the mother plane. And Negroes believe this craziness, as Garfield would say, this craziness. The funkiest. Okay, this is an article, Our Weekly, 2014. The funkiest UFO in the galaxy. African American Muslims, under the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, learned of another mothership around 1932. It was a large, I'm not going to open it up, but this is madness. Okay, let me see what else I can find. Here's another one. The nature and purpose of the mother plane or the mothership. 2014, the minister explained that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad began learning about the mother plane around 1932. However, it was not until 10 years later. Oh boy. The mother plane. UFOologists and radical, I'm sorry, racial tendencies in the American Nation of Islam. There is no God but Allah. Elijah goes on to say, this is why she is called, what? This is why she is called a mothership. So is he saying God is a woman? There is no God but Allah. Elijah goes on to say that is why she is called the mothership. So is Elijah saying that, I'm not going to open it up, that Allah is really a big UFO up in the sky and he's chilling up there? See, this, like I said, if you find a man in confusion, just leave him alone. How is that worded? That's also in 1 Corinthians 1. First Corinthians 14. The wording is not in my head. It's somewhere on down. If the wording was in my head, bear with me for a minute. Spirit of the prophets, subject to the prophets. Most High is not the author of confusion, but let your women learn in silence. But they which are commanded to do, and if they learn anything, let them learn a husband at home. What came the word of the Most High came to you. Think himself to be a prophet of spiritual, let him knowledge of things. But if right, I got it. The word ignorant. 1 Corinthians 14, verse 38. But if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. Right? But if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. If a guy can't get it, let him continue to be ignorant, right? Let's go to the NLT. Then I'm going to go to Revelation 22, and I believe that's 12. Okay, but if you do not recognize this, you yourself will not be recognized. Okay, that's put in a different way. Let's come back over here. Let's go to Revelation. Revelation 22, I believe it's 12. See, IUIC, they went to Kenya. Now they got rocks, they got people booing them, telling them to get the fuck out of here. Then they came back, I think, later that day or the next day, and then they got stoned, you know? Them boys is hard-headed. And they ain't gonna march that 2,000-man army over there in Kenya, because they'll get slaughtered. Okay, let me see. I'm sorry, let me come up here. The final message, seal of prophecy. And he that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy. If you talk to a guy that can't get it, you got to move on. You got to shake the dust. That's what that means. This is why we don't debate, because it's a complete waste of time. And if anything, it's entertaining. All it is entertaining. So this guy would have to, he believes that he's part of FOI, Fruit of Islam, NOI, Nation of Islam, which there's no such nation. Where's the genealogy of the Nation of Islam? Who's the first, the father of the Nation of Islam?
So we want to look at how the white man saw the messenger. They said when they saw the messenger, they said Elijah Muhammad, builder of a nation. Because Allah did not have
a nation that never existed. Somebody can come along and say the nation of the Roman Catholics. No such nation. You can't take a religion and make a nation of people out of it. Look up the word nation. Goes back to a people. It starts with one man. Jacob's name was Israel. The sons that came out of between from his loins are known as Israelites, or the nation of Israel, Israelite nation.
Us look at Prophet Muhammad, who lived 1,400 years ago. He sent us a messenger from among ourselves. Just like Allah sent Moses to his people, Allah sent the messenger to us. And he said in the Holy Quran, those who follow the messenger would be successful. So this is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. It says Elijah Muhammad, builder of a nation. Then we can go to an individual.
And you know what? Now I'm thinking, you know, the Esau had to be working. The feds or whatever had to be working with this guy to keep them from coming in, because Esau knew that Israel was going to wake up. So they had to put stumbling blocks there. So one of the major stumbling blocks was Islam. So now you got Israelites, you got a major group, the IUIC, and we believe that he's getting paid off. He took the bag because just look at, through the years, he changed his stuff, changed the name of the Father, the Son. New moon is the full moon. There's a hell. You can only have one woman. All these different things. There's a lot of things that this guy teaches that he goes off on.
It says Elijah Muhammad, builder of a nation. Then we can go to an individual city of the messenger. It says Muslims build own nation. It says sparkling clean Muslim shops, markets, restaurants, and bakeries are scattered throughout Detroit, but the largest single cluster is on Linwood between Calvin and Monterey. That's where you'll find Shabazz restaurant, where the only ribs offered for sale are lamb, the rice is brown, and even Mr. Clean couldn't find dirt. Now this the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, cleaning up the black man.
Okay, that was a Jake that cleaned up the black. Drug dealers do that shit. They give out turkeys before Thanksgiving. I mean, what? The Most High is not the Most High is not building a kingdom on earth, selling bean pies and lamb ribs and so forth. This guy really doesn't. He really doesn't understand what's going on. He doesn't understand the prophetic part of the scriptures. He just heard the message and he got hooked, and he's just preaching nonsense. And people that are not of the elect are going to get it. That's why they're going to follow them. They're not going to follow the truth if they're not of the elect. You got to be the elect. He's definitely not of the elect. He's too far gone. Scriptures speak about let me go to that. Hot iron. Speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron, meaning it's seared in them. They're indoctrinated. I looked up the word indoctrinated. Indoctrination. Islam brings out an indoctrination. This means that, and that means this, and you can't question it. If you question it, you're going to be reprimanded. You keep questioning it, you're going to be asked to leave. They have a strict set of rules that they go by, and either you accept it or you don't accept it. So he said Elijah Muhammad is Elijah coming back. Well, Elijah Muhammad is an Israelite. If he knew he was an Israelite back then, he's going to come back teaching Israel. So you got to leave these people alone.
Allah raised him up for us. He spoke our language. Allah said he gonna give us his message is clear, and that's what the message.
And if Esau wanted to blow all that shit up, like the Black Wall Street, he could do it and get away with it.
He took winos, he took drunks, he took alcoholics, he took prostitutes, and look how many times they say sparkling clean in a ghetto like Detroit.
Why couldn't he do it to the whole country? Because we're under curse. Deuteronomy 28. Curses shall you be in the city, and curses shall you be in the field.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because Wallace D. Muhammad didn't see Allah, Farrakhan didn't see Allah, Allah raised up the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So you never hear Tazariot or the Israelites talk about who Allah raised because they can't. He was successful. Then it goes on to say,
yeah, it's a made-up story. It's a fairy tale. It's made up. They say, oh, this guy's Elijah. This white guy from Finland, he's Allah. Ain't no Arabs in the Arab world know who's this. I don't know this guy.
It says the temple looks clean enough, have been built yesterday. Once again, they still talking about how clean. Now, Detroit, if you look at it today.
And see, this is what Nate is doing. Instead of organization, it's an organized nation. It's an organized nation, but it's full with lies. It's like, matter of fact, let me go to that real quick, and I will read that in the NLT, Matthew 23. Matthew 23. Okay. Give me a second. I want to go right to it. You can really read the whole chapter. Okay, it says, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward in order." They all wearing the same. They're marching in unity. There's 2,000 of them. They got the flags. Each flag represents a tribe, and they got the cadence going. And Most High in Christ blessed, Most High in Christ, but are within full of dead men's bones and of all uncleanness. Because what do they teach? Another thing that IUIC teaches, that you can have sex on the Sabbath, when the Sabbath said keep the Sabbath, honor the Sabbath to keep it holy. How can you keep the Sabbath holy when you're having sex on the Sabbath? When you have sex with a woman, you're unclean. On the Sabbath day, you're supposed to be clean on that day. Because in the kingdom, we're going to be going to every Sabbath, we're going to be going to the temple. So let's come on back.
It's a hood, ghetto, everything. But with the messenger, you see Muslim shops, markets, restaurants, and bakeries. They continue to tell you how clean these buildings and these Muslims are. It says look clean enough to have been built yesterday, but behind the well-scrubbed red brick face are a history of a 40-year-old movement successfully combining business. Oh man, it says business, religion, and rehabilitation. Now let's go to another city, because we want to show how the Holy Quran talked about those who follow the messenger would be successful. Now we have Pittsburgh Post-Gaza says Homewood gets economic lift from black Muslims because we don't.
But that has nothing to do with the truth. That's why we believe that there's certain men in black that set this guy up to be a stumbling block, for Israel. So when they see Israel, they say, well, wait a minute. Nah, we doing good. We got clean shops. We got jobs. What do y'all got? And that's what they say. They say, what have you guys did for the community? You got IUIC cleaning up leaves and shit and giving out turkeys or whatever the fuck they do. Why don't GMS do it? Because no, that's not in the scriptures. What did Yahweh Shai say? Let me do this. Alabaster. How do you spell alabaster? Let me do it this way. And we put in poor. You know what? Let me do it this way. Jesus said the poor will always be with you. Bible. Matthew. Okay, let me click on this. I'm sorry, right here. Okay, let me go start at 8th verse. Key point is in 11. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. What about giving it to the poor? When Yahushua understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have Not always. So he said, don't worry about the poor. There's only going to be help poor. There's going to be more people. Don't worry about them. This woman did a good work. So Yahweh Shai didn't come to help the community. Yahweh Shai came to gather the apostles, which are of the elect, so that they can gather other disciples unto themselves to fulfill the work of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. And see, that's why a lot of people flock to the IUIC, because they're doing just what the Nation of Islam, the NOI, did. Look, we got shops, we got stores, we got supermarkets, we got hospitals. Let's listen to a little bit more, and then I'm going to close.
Believe in a spook like Tazariak. He gonna keep telling you about what the spook did 2,000 years ago, or he gonna tell you about Prophet Muhammad who lived for. But when did Yahweh come here among you and make you successful and give you his message?
Because we're under the curses. I'm ready to close this thing. Listen to a little bit more, and then I'm going to close.
Message so that you can tell us his message clear.
Only people that's going to listen to this guy right here and others like him, of his ilk, are people that are not of the elect.
Like Allah did with the message. Now, another ghetto that if you go there today, it's run down, but when the messenger came and sent Muslims, it says Homewood gets economic lift from black Muslims. When you look at IUIC, when you look at ISUPK, they don't have an ice cream parlor for the black man. But look at all that the messenger had. It says some new businesses are opening in Homewood. However, and most of them are operated by the Nation of Islam, the highly disciplined religion most of America call black Muslims. In fact, the scarcity of other businesses among their storefronts.
Now, if this goes back to 74, we're talking about 74, 84, 94, 2004, 14, 12. We're talking about 50 years. You mean to tell me you couldn't clean up on all of America of black people? Because the Most High ain't dealing with that. We're under a curse. You open up a block, you put some money into a particular block, and you clean that place up. You go 2 blocks down, it's more slums and ghettos, man. Because that's not the way. And that's why Jake fought. Look what they're doing. They're doing a good. Hey, look, Jim Jones did that, and what wound up with 900 black women drank Kool-Aid and dropped dead with their children. Even their husbands left them, man. Listen to a little bit more, and then I'm gonna go.
Paint a sparkling white market part of the community looks like a Muslim village. So the messenger, who was raised by Allah, could take brothers in multiple cities, go to these impoverished cities and build it up economically, because his religion from Allah mixes religion, business, and rehabilitation. It says in the 700 block of North Homewood Avenue and around the corner on Kelly Street, there are signs reading Shabazz Fish Dish, Shabazz Bakery Shop, Barber Shop, Shabazz Bakery, Shabazz
2 minutes,
Fish Shop,
2 minutes.
Shabazz Restaurant, Shabazz Dining, Muhammad Speaks, Muhammad Imports, and Muhammad.
You know what? You can have a group of atheists that do the same thing, and people will follow atheists. They'll say, God is not the way, let me follow these atheists. Or you can do it in the name of Satan. Change the name of Satan. Lucifer this, Lucifer that. This doesn't make sense. He doesn't understand what's going on. He doesn't understand. He's just a lost soul. You can't wake a guy up like this. He's at the end of the day, he's not a part of the elect. Let me do this. I'm just gonna go to elect in the Apocrypha. Okay, elect is there 6 times. Good. So the Most High is only dealing with the elect. I'll go right here. Therefore let thy saints, which are Israelites, praise thee with all thy creatures, and let all the angels and thine elect praise thee forever. Now, when you praise somebody, you got to praise that person's name. You got to call them by name. When you do a tribute with somebody, you mention their name. And the only ones that's going to do that on this side are the elect. Wisdom of Solomon 3 verse 9. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love, true love, shall abide with him, for grace and mercy is to his saints. There goes the word saints again, which are Israelites. And read Psalms 147. And he have care for what? His elect. That's not all of Israel. Ecclesiastes 17 verse 10. And the elect shall praise his... Ooh, guess what? According to this precept right here, Ecclesiastes 17 verse 10, the IUIC are not of the elect. There's no elect members of the IUIC unless they repent. If they're elect among them, they're gonna come out. They're gonna leave Bishop Nate. It says, and the elect shall praise his holy name. Oh, but we don't know his holy name. Of course you don't know his holy name, because you're not of the elect. Ecclesiastes 46 and 1, saving of the elect of the Most High, and taking vengeance of the enemies that rose up against them, that he might set Israel in their inheritance. Ultimately, all Israel are the elect, but there's an elect within the elect. Ecclesiasticus 47:22, but Yahweh will never leave off his mercy. That's why nobody's going to go to hell. Israelites not going to burn in hell, because he has mercy on all Israel. Neither shall any of his works perish, neither will he abolish the posterity of... Posterity means to go forward with your seed, right? Posterity of his elect, and the seed of him that loveth him, he shall not take away. Therefore he gave a remnant, which is the elect, unto Jacob, and out of him a root unto Jesse. Last precept of scripture, Ecclesiastes 49:13, and among the elect was Nehemiah, whose renown or famous is great. Nehemiah was a prophet who raised up for us the walls that were fallen, and set up the gates and the bars, and raised up our ruins again. So this is one of the elect. So anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom, on to the next shalom.